Hello, it's me again. Are you ready to get your kit on or get your kit off again in July? I am. Hello, my name's Sam and welcome to my little corner of the internet, my channel So Let's Sparkle with Sam. And today I am here for another Get Your Kit On, week 2. So if you are thinking, what on earth is this lovely lady talking about? So throughout July, I have decided to go up to my cupboard, find all of the kits that I had hanging around, you know, the ones in the kit cupboard, the ones under the bed, the ones that you bought for a special occasion and not managed to get it sewn up, perhaps a few that you've been gifted and not got round to sewing them up and or making them. All kits are valid, and I've got them all out and I'm sewing them all up. So last week I left it over to you to choose what kit I was sewing first. And you came up trumps. So you chose the Sepia pants. So the Sepia pants and shorts by Closet Core. I had 2 kits. They were both from Beyond the Pink Door. I had the Sepia pants kit and the Frankie trousers kit. It was quite close, but the Sepia pants won. And I think you were just being kind and decided to choose the sepias because they were nice and easy to sew at a sewing social, which is where I was sewing them up. And you were absolutely right, they were nice and easy to sew at a sewing social. But before I go into that make, I just want to say thank you very much for everyone that has already got their kit off. So I have been tagged in a few posts this week of people that are either making up their own kits or that they have the same kit that I do. Or that they're just rummaging through their cupboards at home to find those kits and starting to make them up, and tagging me. So thank you, that's brilliant. I mean, I'm doing this just for me, but it's lovely with sharing it and finding that I've given you some inspiration to get your kits on or off, and get those beloved kits finally made up. So thank you very much. And while we're talking on that, most of you are finding me on Instagram, but I am giving a new little app a go. It's called Sewcial. I'll pop the bit up here and I'll pop my QR code so you can kind of pause the screen and go and find me on Sewcial. I love Instagram. I haven't got any problems with Instagram at all. I really, really enjoy it. It is a bit annoying about the hashtags, and I have found some, finding people a little bit difficult. So I thought, right, I'm still going to use Instagram, but I'm going to give Sewcial a go. I'm just going to give it a go for a few months, see what happens. And if you're there, I'd love to see you there. And maybe we can get our kit off there too. That will be very exciting. So before I digress and go off on one, let me talk you through the Sepia pants. So I took my kit, armed with my kit on Sunday, to the lovely sewing social run by Stuart, Dan and Kaz, Sewing Bees, 3 Bees, and I tell you what, they are the most fantastic hosts for a social. And if you find yourself at a loose end and you'd like to go to one of those socials, their socials are fantastic. I would definitely highly recommend giving it a go. It was a really, really lovely day. And here are my finished, yes, I finished them, sepias. Now, if you watch till the end of the video, I'll pop some lovely video of them and some pictures of them in close-up. But here they are. So they're in this gorgeous mid blue chambray, and I've had so many comments and compliments on these already, particularly by my family that have, when I've kind of put them on and showed them about these pockets, and the pocket detail is quite luxurious, shall we say. So this double pocket kind of gives you a floating pocket effect. So it kind of looks like there's one pocket floating on top of the other, and they're both usable pockets. So zip and zip and zip and zip. You can get your hand in all of the pockets. It's got this gorgeous elasticated waist. As you can see, I didn't put the drawstring on this one. I'm still undecided whether that was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. I'm 100% going to make another pair of these. So I think I might put the drawstring on the next pair and just kind of see what I think, whether I was right not to, or whether I should put the drawstring on. Not having the drawstring on though means that when I wear them, it flattens out at the front and the gathers are in the back, and I think that I kind of prefer that look. So yeah. And then we've got back pockets, zoop and zoop. Now the detailing on these pockets, on all of the pockets, is beautiful. It's got these gorgeous little bar tacks that hold everything in, and I don't know whether, let me see if I can show you. Can you see? And it just, the finishing is just yummy. It's really, really lovely. However, when I was sewing them up with Lynn, so Lynn was making her sepias with me at the Sewcial, there was a little bit of me that was like, I wish I was at home, and then I could have quickly gone to my stash and found a contrasting thread that would have gone really nicely and done contrasting top stitching. But what I did is I made them up exactly from the kit. So this was the thread from the kit and everything exactly from the kit. So they look great, but I think, again, if I was to make another pair, which I 100% am going to make another pair, I think what I do is I do the top stitching in a contrasting thread, because it is so beautiful and it's a real statement. It's a shame that you can't really see it. I mean, if you're up really close, you can see it, and I can definitely admire it and give myself a pat on the back and say what a lovely job I've done. But I quite like other people to see it too. So yeah. But I will have to say, if you are looking for a lovely pair of elasticated trousers, but just that give you a little bit extra, wide leg, but they also come in the barrel leg, then I would definitely give the Sepia trousers by Closet Core a go. And if you want everything made nice and simple for you, then a kit is a really, really good way to do it, to buy them. The sepia pattern is lovely and size inclusive. It comes in a 0 to 20 and then a 14 to 32 option, which gives you a really good size range. So yeah, it's a really lovely pattern. And I think it's kind of, because it has got the barrel leg option and the wide leg option and the shorts option, everyone is sure to find the perfect sepias for them. So before I move on and show you about my next kit that I'll be sewing with you this month, I just want to give you a little bit more detail on sewing up these sepias at the Sewcial. So I have got a really funny picture to show you, which I will pop on the screen now. So as I said, me and Lynn were sewing them together, and unfortunately we didn't get them finished, so we haven't got a picture of us wearing them together. But what we thought would be really funny is to give them to Dan, so Sewing Bee fame Dan, to help us hold, to kind of hold them up and show the progress that we've made. And what we ended up creating was some kind of like Weight Watchers before and after picture, because before you put the waistband on the sepias, let me just remind you, before you put the waistband on, because as you can see, this elastic really nips everything in, but before you put them on, they are absolutely huge. And because of, so the lovely Jo, my lovely super sparkler, took the photo for us, and she's quite short. Dan's quite tall. We were quite a long way away. So there was this kind of forced perspective photo, and it looked like me and Lynn could both fit in our trousers. trousers. But it did make me laugh. So yeah, so there is a picture of me, Lynn and Dan with our trousers, and all three of us could have fitted in them. But no, honestly, it was just the perspective of the photo. So once we got the waistband and the elastic on and in, they're perfect. And I wouldn't change the fit of mine at all. I was a little bit worried about the rise, but the rise is absolutely fine. It is a little bit low, but in the weather that we're having and the way that I like to wear my trousers, I like it a little bit low rather than a little bit high. So yeah, and I'm really, really happy with the fit on my bottom. So yeah, I think I would make them exactly the same way. I did a straight size 12, but I did cut the elastic shorter than it said for the requirements for a 12. So I made a 12, but I cut the elastic for a 10. And yeah, I'm really, really happy with them. I probably could bring them in a little tiny bit, and I think if I made a 10, it would fit me. But for a nice, easy breezy pair of summer trousers, the 12's absolutely perfect. And if I made it again, I would probably make a 12 again. Right, what's happening next? So sepia kit done. That means I have made up one of my kits. Little update, because I know that you're all going to be asking me, Sam, have you started your trainers kit? Because I had this idea that I would do the trainers throughout the 4 weeks, and you know, and kind of have I started? No, I haven't. I haven't even got it out of the box. I've looked at it, I've stroked it a couple of times, I've thought about it a lot. I may have even dreamt about it once, but have I started it? No, I've not started it. And I can't see myself starting it anytime soon because they have announced the sewing bee contestants. So I have literally done nothing else but stalk them on Instagram and get all of their bios, write my own bios. I've been organising all of the things for my sweepstake that I run on my Facebook group. Now, I know not everyone's into Facebook, and I've been running the sweepstake now for 4 years, and I just find Facebook is the easiest way for me to run the sweepstake because I cannot do it across different platforms. So apologies if Facebook is not for you. But if you do want to join in the sweepstakes, you haven't got very long. You do have to sign up quite quickly. You have to go and sign up on my Facebook group, which is So Let's Sparkle with Sam. I'll put it down below. And then you have to comment on the post with the new bees, and you need to say, I'm in, because to allow me to then message you, you need to have agreed that you are in the sweepstake. Yeah, and then what we do is we watch the show together, we cheer them on together, yeah, and kind of enjoy the show. And then whoever wins, those people in that group, then get put into a draw to win a prize. I normally pick 2 or sometimes 3 people, depending on how big the group is, and I make something and send it to you. And if I can find a picture of what I sent last year, I will pop that in. If not, I will try and find that and talk about that another time. But yes, so yeah, apologies for not starting the trainers kits, but I've been busy this week. So sorry, not sorry. Is that what you say? Yeah, but what have I been starting? So I have started another kit. I've started this kit, and as you can see, it's completely empty because I have been using all of its parts. So this kit is a Flying Bobbins kit by my lovely friend Liz at Flying Bobbins, and it's part of the Sew Along Club. So the Sew Along Club and I'm pretty sure it's this month, unless it was last month, but I think pretty sure it's this month. And it is the tropical shirt. Now you can choose 2 kits for the Sew Along Club this month, and you get the Wardrobe by Me tropical shirt, and there's also a camp shirt option. I've gone for this one because I want to make this for my boys. So I want to make one for Mr. Sparkles, which is the kit fabric that I have got, and I want to make one for Baby Sparkles, which I have chosen some different fabric. So You get all of the other bits and pieces that you need. You get a little card, which I can't show you because that's got the QR code on, for that takes you to the tutorial and lots of advice for getting the shirt sewn up. You get some of this gorgeous interfacing for all of your collars and whatnot. And I have measured it out. I've put the pattern pieces on and I have actually got enough interfacing to do both Simon and Joe's collars. So that's very exciting. But I've got plenty of interfacing anyway, but it's always nice, isn't it, when you've got enough. In the tropical shirt, you get the pattern pieces and you also get this lovely instruction booklet. Oh, that's a difficult word to say. And then as you can see, you've got a back yoke, you've got this back piece here, little pleats, pocket, shirt, collar, looking all gorgeous. And then also in the kit, you get some Gutermann thread. That is the colour of the fabric, which is a gorgeous kind of indigo blue linen. I will get the fabric I've washed and I've just hung up for now because it's ready. I'm nearly ready to cut out. But I will grab that. I don't want to get it all crumpled. And then I have these lovely little blue buttons. Excuse my nails, they really need doing again. I'm hoping to get them done this weekend. I'm hoping to get everything done this weekend. Do you ever have weekends like that where you've literally just put everything onto the weekend? Everything's happening on Saturday. We'll see what gets done. And yeah, and so that's the kit. So as you can see, which I'm going to show you, I have traced, yes, I have traced the pattern. Yay me. I have traced the pattern. I've traced one for Joe, and on Joe's I have put Joe on all of his pattern piece, and I've traced one for Simon, and I've put Simon's on his. So they will go into separate envelopes when I finish. So I've always got a Joe one and a Simon one. I've traced it on this gorgeous Swedish tissue paper that I buy from Pattern Trace, which is the sister company of Guthrie Ghani. And what I do is every year in kind of January time, they sometimes have a sale January time, I buy a 50-meter roll, and that tends to sort me out for the whole year. It is a bit pricey, but I wouldn't use any other tracing paper. I find it's just really nice to trace on. It's really nice to cut out. I can sew with it if I need to. Yeah, it's just really, really good quality paper. So this didn't come in the kit. This is something that I've used. So later on today, when I make myself a cup of tea, I'm going to get that cut out and then pop it on to the fabrics ready to make up the shirts this week. And I think what I might do is I might batch sew them. So I'll sew them together and then that will get them sewn up nice and quickly. So the fabrics that I'm using for the tropical shirts is this one is the one that came in the kit, and this is the one that I'm using for Simon's shirt. As you can see, it's a gorgeous deep indigo blue. It's a linen. Oh, he's going to be so nice to cuddle. It's so soft. So I'm really looking forward to making this one up. I think it's going to be a really lovely make. And then, oh, I had such fun. I'll try and see if I can find the video. I haven't made Simon a shirt for a while, and I thought I'd just check on the measurements because obviously I was tracing one for Simon, tracing one for Joe. I'd already checked Joe's measurements, and they've got a great sizing chart on the back, and I thought I'd just like double check. And I was measuring Simon, and he was just, as usual, playing the clown, but it was quite funny. And so I went, out of interest, if you are interested, Simon was between the large and the extra large, and I did and ah going to the extra large, but he tends to wear a large, you know, if I buy him a large shirt, he tends to wear a large from the shops, and he doesn't like things too baggy. So I was thinking, actually, I think I might go I might go for the large rather than the extra large. So I've punted for the large, and that's what I've traced it out. And then Joe is the opposite. He likes things really big and baggy. When I measured him, he came up as an extra small, but I have gone for a small. In fact, I've kind of gone between the small and medium lines, because he likes it to be a bit bigger. So yeah, so just out of interest, that's the sizes that I've cut, because if I don't tell you, you'll ask me. So there you go. So this one's Simon's, and then for my lovely baby sparkles for Joe, I have chosen this. It's nice and bright, it's checked. It's probably not like the absolute fabric I would have chosen had I bought, you know, a fabric for him, but I've not made Joe this kind of shirt. I've made him like a shackety jackety shirt before. I've not made him one like a kind of a more fitted shirt, and I just really want to test the sizes. This fabric was super inexpensive. It is a nice kind of crisp cotton. He's had this kind of colours before, in ready to wear shirts. He looks really cute in them, so I just thought, well, let's make this. I know he'll wear it. It'll go with a lot of his clothes, and who doesn't need a nice kind of check shirt every now and again. So yeah, and I bought this from Minerva when they were having their cotton sale, and it was something like £4.50 a metre. So I got 2 meters, and that will be more than plenty for Joe's shirt. So yeah, so that is what is going to be keeping me busy on Get Your Kit On week 2. So have any more kits made it into the Sparkly studio since I got all of my kits out of my cupboard? Well, the answer to that is yes and no, because I have ordered some, but they've not arrived yet. So yeah, look out next week, and I will update you on the new kits that have come into the Sparkly studio and the new kits that I'll be adding on to my get my kit on for July. But yeah, I couldn't resist. They were beautiful, just couldn't resist them. Sorry, not sorry again. However, I have done a few little cheeky purchases this week, and some things have arrived in my sewing room. So if you want to find out about those, and also I've got 2 very exciting projects on my cutting table right now. If you want to find out about those and what else has been coming in, then don't forget to join me on Sunday for a little bit of sparkle, where I'll talk to you more about what has been going on in my sewing week, less about the kits and more about general sewing life on Sunday. So yeah, that will be very exciting and very nice to see you there. So that's my main plans for this week. Let me know, do you have any kits lurking that you're hoping to start on this week? Please let me know in the comments. If you like my content, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's always lovely to have you here. And yeah, don't forget to sparkle. See you really soon. Bye for now.